All right, so hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Natrinda Emmanuel. I'm a graduate student at University of Toronto. So for the first time, I decided to do a video that is going to be reviewing my statement of purpose and letter of demand. To be honest, this is not something that I saw myself doing because this is a personal story that probably I never wanted um, outside the outside world to get to know this part of me and my story and details of why I chose different universities. Yeah, but due to popular demand, I have decided that I'm going to share with you my statement of purpose that got me into those I live Ivy League schools, as they call them. Yeah, but not the US version of Ivy League schools because that term has over time um, been used to mean many different things. So, previously Ivy League schools used to mean Princeton, Harvard, Columbia University, University of Chicago, I think, and Caltech. Yeah. Yeah, but now because of the popularity of that Ivy League schools, it has been adopted in very many contexts. So I'm in University of Toronto, and for University of Toronto, this is a university that I don't need to talk about because it has already built its reputation. I got accepted at University of Cambridge, University of Edinburgh, and other many universities. So, and very good ones. So if someone is in UK and you're accepted at Cambridge, everyone know what it means to get admission into Cambridge, Oxford, Edinburgh, and other very many schools in UK that are very good, but at least Cambridge, Oxford, those two schools, guys, we all know how difficult it can be to get into those two schools in UK. Here in Canada, University of Toronto, McGill, British Columbia, you know how tough it can get. In the United States, there is always that one word, Boston-based university, Harvard. And to get into these schools, it can be a little bit competitive. And they're always looking for very unique stories from their applicants. So in today's video, let me just go straight to the point. How do you write an award-winning SOP? Mind you, this is not only a statement of purpose that got me into University of Toronto, University of Cambridge, and very many other good schools. It is a scholarship award-winning SOP. I mean, I got admission, I got a scholarship. So I'm just going to first take you the steps and its components, and then I'll read it out for you. All right. So okay, let's start. Uh, the structure. Let's start with the structure. How do you write a very good SOP? Like, I mean, what are the components? So, uh, sharing my screen. I want to enlarge it a little bit here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's enlarged. Let me share again to be very sure that the components are going to be as visible as I want them. All right, so this is the structure of how an SOP is supposed to be written. Uh, start by introducing yourself. Like, remember you're writing with someone who does not really know you. I think this magnify this, but I don't know. Okay. All right. So this is a little bit magnified. So the first things first, introduce yourself, your interests and motivations. Tell them what you're interested in, perhaps what sparked your desire for graduate study. This should be very short, to the point. Don't spend a great deal of time on autobiography. So I'm going to explain what that means. So You just want to let them know because they don't know you. They review very many applications of talented young people who want to pursue graduate studies all over the world. So you want them to get to connect with you and get to know that, okay, this is a medical doctor coming from Uganda who studied in Ghana. They now want to transition and come and study at Harvard. This is what they are going to bring. This is who they are. Then part two, summarize your undergraduate and previous graduate career. Yeah, so if you have, uh, if you're applying for masters, you may want to talk about what you did in your undergraduate and why has it propelled you to say, let me go for a master's degree. So for my undergraduate, I had done some good research work. After that, I had worked in Uganda at a particular local hospital. So talk about the research you conducted, indicate with whom you conducted it with. Title of the project can sometimes be very important. What were your responsibilities? Were you a research participant? And what was the outcome? Write technically or in a style of your discipline, like faculty. Faculty are the people who read these statements. So these are academic. So you want to write in an academic term, right? It doesn't really hurt because you're applying to people who know some of these technical terms. Some of those applications are going to be reviewed by your professors actually in your department. So don't fear to use technical terms because, I mean, they know what you're talking about. And when you mention something, although it don't mention big words, but if you are, let's say, applying to a department of public health and you're using words like social determinants of health, they understand. If you're using words like uh, preventive medicine and you're applying to a particular department that is offering public health and other social and behavior programs, they really understand what you're talking about. So write technically, let them know that you understand what you are talking about because they understand it. And you can talk about the thesis that you wrote in your undergraduate or master's degree. If you published it, it doesn't have to say that this work was published in a very high impact academic journal because you're speaking to your high profile, to your profile, and you want to speak of yourself highly and of your accomplishments. Work experience, especially if you have had any kind of responsibility for testing, designing, researching, and interning an area similar to what you wish to study in graduate school. So credit matters. You don't want to be telling us how you worked in HIV, yet this time around, maybe you're applying for a graduate school in an area centered on NCD. You must show a relationship, show them a relationship that probably while I was working as an HIV medical laboratory scientist, I really saw an interconnection between non-communicable diseases and this infectious disease. You want to relate. So it's either you worked directly into that field and then you want to enhance your knowledge in it, or you show where you actually worked and how you saw yourself, how you see yourself transitioning from that background to that graduate school and how that will affect your professional and personal development. And this is important because they want to know that actually this is a contribution to the work you're already doing. So even if you are doing a career switch, like for myself, I was into research, biomedical research, laboratory testing, clinical research, but then I was switching into technology. I'm going to show you how I showed that actually my background has prepared me well for this. All right, so I think I missed something. Number three, yeah, discuss the relevance of your recent and current activities. If you have graduated and worked prior to returning to grad school, indicate what you have been doing, company, own and profit, your work, stroke design team, responsibilities, what you learned. You can also indicate how this helped you focus your graduate studies. I mean, this is more like what I already said. So feel free to take screenshots of this and see how best you translate that into your SOP. So elaborate on your academic interests. Come on, guys. You are coming to graduate school. So everything here is about academic. You are going to be involved in writing scholarly work, reviewing research articles, reading different conference papers. So you want to elaborate more on how this graduate school program is going to help you to understand a particular scope of research and how you intend to engage with different research teams in your graduate school. Indicate the area of your interests. Ideally, pose a question. For example, say I want to explore how health delivery models influence healthcare access for people living in hard-to-reach geographical locations. Show how you have defined a problem. Indicate a theme that you would like to address and play around this research. So they say this should be this should be an ample paragraph, not too long. You have defined a problem, you have provided an answer, and you have tried to show how you intend to accomplish this. And then this is something that I always tell um, applicants, and they don't take it serious. You're applying to a grad school, but the department you're applying to, you haven't even been able to go through and view some of the research work published by some of the professors in that department. You don't want to do that, guys, because it gives the faculty confidence that you have developed interest in what they are doing. Read some of their research, quote it. Say that, for example, I want to learn from Professor Karim Keshavi or Dr. Abbas Zaval in the Department of Health Informatics at University of Toronto. And probably they have published research on diabetology, preventive health, and stuff like that. Research, because they are looking at your academic curiosity, they are looking at your academic ambitions, they are looking at how you are able to dig deeper into the area of interest. So I remember I had a chat with one of admission, my department at University of Cambridge, and the lady who was interviewing me said sometimes it baffles them that applicants do not develop enough interest to go and read about their faculty, yet this information is published on departmental website. So it's there for you to read. They don't put it there for just any case. They just put it there for you to be able to read it and get to know what the department is working on. Sometimes there are even some ongoing projects that you can interest yourself with, and when you are accepted, you take part. So don't be lazy in learning. Don't be lazy in checking on your departmental website. That is going to shape how you write your SOP, and it is actually going to clarify and provide you clarity on a kind of research you can undertake. End your statement with a positive manner, indicating your excitement and readiness of the challenges ahead of you. I mean, it's not a walk in the park, so you want to create a balanced narrative. So these are essential tips that I would also encourage you to take a screenshot and see how best when you start to write your SOP, they are going to be. What the admission committees will read between lines is self-motivation, competence as a potential graduate candidate, because most of the things here in grad school, you are going to be taking the initiative. Even the professors who have exciting projects, they are not the ones to come to you. They always like it when you go to them. It has to come from you and say, you are working on an exciting area. I would like to take part. I would like to volunteer. Emphasize everything from a positive perspective and write in an active, not passive voice. I mean, they want to see you. They want to see that voice of you. And it is your story. Talk about it in an active voice. Demonstrate everything by example. Don't say directly that you are a persistent person. Show it. Yeah. So demonstrate. They can tell. I remember when I was doing my interview at University of Toronto, one of the interviewers said that, Emmanuel, it looks like you are working on very many things. Probably they were able to see it in my SOP. I was doing a research project with Arizona State University and NBA in South Africa, which was focused on improving the Baobab platform. that was reflected in my academic CV. I was working on a startup, Nugget Poultry Farm, which was doing well in Uganda. I was working with Dananda Shipandi Queen's Innovation Center. So the interviewer at the end of the session told me, it looks like you're working on many things. I just want to wish you good luck on what you're working on, and I like your proactiveness. Trust me, when they said that after the interview, I just started preparing myself to come to University of Toronto because I was confident that I have demonstrated um, that I'm a persistent person, I'm proactive, I'm self-motivated, and I can be able to multitask. I can work independently and in teams. If there is something important that happened to you that affected your grades, such as poverty, illness, excessive work, state it, write it affirmatively, show your perseverance, despite all obstacles. You can elaborate more in your personal statement. Yeah. So guys, these are also human beings. They know that sometimes life is not straightforward. Yeah, for example, COVID came and a lot of us had challenges with graduating on time. We had to push a lot of things, and it affected how we learn. That there was a very tight transition when COVID came. So don't hesitate. Let them know that, okay, I had a second class upper degree because I was not living in my own country. For example, I was studying in Ghana, and it was challenging to quickly transition and comprehend different cross-cultural nuances in Ghana, and somehow that affected my grades. I mean, I'm using that as an example. Maybe I was working while studying. They understand, express that in your SOP, because I always say, you may not be a first class student, you may not be an A student, you may be a B plus student or even a B minus, but your SOP is going to vindicate you, is going to make them realize that probably if everything was in your favor, you could have done better. So clearly show it. All right. Yeah, so make sure everything is linked with continuity and focus. Use waterfall. In project management, I think waterfall is the best way to explain that flow. Like show, tell, continuity, focus, clarity, introspection, self-reflection. Like the story flows in a chronological order. And you're going to show to see what I mean by that when you look at my SOP. Unless the specific program says otherwise, be concise. I mean, they are reviewing over 500, 1,000 applications. So you don't want to put out 4 pages that is not going to make sense to them. So for UofT, it was 2 pages. For Cambridge, it was 1 page. For University of Edinburgh, it's even half a page. So clarity is important. Brevity is important. Be precise. And this is something I always say, it's a turn off when I review applicants' essays and I find grammatical errors. I mean, Grammarly tool is free, at least for basic grammatical checks. I always say, why don't you install a Grammarly add-in extension to your Word document? And it will help you to at least polish some major grammatical errors, spelling errors, and format it well. Use justification 12.2 font times New Roman, because you want to show them that you're really very organized. Otherwise, when you come to graduate school, you will be writing. Graduate school is about scholarly writing, putting down your thoughts, reading articles, absorbing information, writing on it. Assignments are all about writing, understanding writing, reflections. So this is where it starts, honestly. So if you can format your essays very well, it's a training ground, not only for graduate school applications, but for everything out there that the world has to offer for you. So this is a document I'm just going to go through it again for everyone, maybe take a screenshot and see if this is something you can work around with. So once you start write your essay, at least make sure you have touched on these four components. Now, this is where the big cake is. The SOP that got me into all those big schools. To be honest, I wanted to be a Cambridge student. It's a story that I'll tell you some other time, but I thought right now I'll be in Cambridge because, I mean, I've read about all their novel scientific ideas, their professors, what they have done, and I knew I was even already having a college membership at King's College, and when time came to make a decision to come to U of T, I couldn't fathom it, but it was beyond convincing that U of T was the right school for me by that time. And I don't regret my decision, but I think the fact that I made it to Cambridge really excites me each and every day. That I wrote an essay and convinced Cambridge professors to let me in. It's one thing that always excites me, that I even passed their interview. Yeah, so let's go to the main cake. SOP, award-winning SOP. I'm just going to read it through here, and that will be all. And I hope you will find it equally enlightening as you start to write your own thoughts. As a disclaimer, my story is unique and different, so don't just go and maybe screenshot this video and take the same approach. It may not help you. Take an introspection. This is just to give you a flow. So write a very clear address, just like I did. By that time, I was staying in Boma Kamkuzimbarara. It's in Western Uganda. I submitted my letter on 15th December. But guys, I started writing this letter in January, I think, actually, January of 2023. And I became serious on it, I think, in March. I started to take it serious. I remember each time a very good idea would come into my mind, I would wake up in the middle of the night and write on it, add a component, add a line that I feel like the professors who are going to read it, yeah, they will understand that actually I'm serious on what I want. And you can see the formatting I talked about. Justify your paragraphs. Don't make too long paragraphs. Don't make the words to be scattered all over. Where you need to bold, bold. This is letter of intent for admission to Master of Health Informatics here at University of Toronto, and let's read it through together. Throughout my entire life, I've harbored a profound interest, curiosity, and passion for healthcare, both as a medical practitioner and as a policy change maker. This passion is deeply rooted in my aspiration to address health access gaps and improve health systems efficiency in my local community and around the world. This goes back to what I said. Start by introducing yourself. Let them know who you are. So here, I set a pace of why I'm actually into healthcare. Now, I understand they are reviewing a lot of applications all over the world. So how do I get them to know that actually I'm unique in my own way and I'm a Ugandan? I mean, I come from sub-Saharan Africa. I lost my mother due to a decade-long battle. So this is where I get personal. I'm introducing myself. Growing up in Uganda, I witnessed firsthand the challenges stemming from outdated paper-based health records, a problem that still plagues many healthcare facilities across sub-Saharan Africa. Now the folk out is starting to understand, who am I? What's my background? My mother's decade-long battle with liver cancer, hypertension, and diabetes underscored the dire consequences of health records mismanagement. Now the admissions team knows my unique story that I had a mother who died at the end of it all, who had a decade-long battle with liver cancer, hypertension, and diabetes, and how it was very hard to manage her chronic conditions due to her records being paper-based. I now clearly bring it in. Her paper-based records, vulnerable to moisture, wear, and tear, made it very difficult on many occasions for doctors to retrieve her clinical history for accurate decision-making. Her health deteriorated significantly due to accumulated errors in clinical management and inaccurate decision-making, ultimately leading to her death in 2017. Yeah, so this is a unique story to me. My mom died in 2017. She was a diabetic patient. She was hypertensive, and she had issues with her liver and care coordination, managing her health, and other things that can be associated with when records are not when records are paper based. To me, this may be anecdotal information because I did not maybe carry out research to see how many errors were made, what was their contribution to her clinical mismanagement and inaccurate decision making. This is just a story. It's anecdotal. I don't have scientific evidence to back it up. But then the next paragraph now needs scientific evidence to back my claims. They are still claims. Yes, it's your story. You're talking about how people are suffering in Cameroon during social determinants of health like poverty, and maybe you want to study public policy to improve that. You started by using your family, which is anecdotal. The faculty is not even sure whether your family that you're talking about exists, whether you lost your mother, but then they can be able to track and see a research that you're talking about online and get rid that actually the problem that has inspired you to come this far exists. So I had read research about Makerere University Health Link that was reviewing that there is a tragic loss of 10,000 patients annually in Uganda due to inefficiencies that are actually related to health records mismanagement, and that 63% of healthcare workers struggle with accessing reliable health records. Evidence-based claims. Paragraph. That paragraph, they already now know my background. They know I'm a Ugandan. I lost my mother in 2017. She had chronic diseases. I've always had interest in being a medical practitioner and a policy change maker, so they know who I am. So now we have hit the tip number one that I shared with you in the previous paragraph. Yeah, so now undergraduate work and how my previous experiences have prepared me to reach this far. For my career in preeminent healthcare facilities such as Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, Ghana, just like I said, I did my undergraduate studies in Ghana and we were always attached to Komfanochi Teaching Hospital. And Bara Regional Referral Hospital in Western Uganda. When I finished my undergraduate, I went to volunteer with Bara Regional Referral Hospital. So I have had the privilege of engaging with diverse health information management tools. These systems include WHONET for antimicrobial surveillance and the African Laboratory Information System, a tool for monitoring diagnostic performance in Africa. These systems not only have a compressed and unfriendly user interface, but also cannot support development of predictive modeling, a critical component in disease control and prevention. So now I'm trying to connect dots on actually why I am applying to this program and department. Additionally, their susceptibility to cyber threats raises grave concerns about patient data, security, and information confidentiality. Healthcare workers with basic information technology expertise cannot fully utilize these systems to generate reliable data for clinical decision-making and data-driven health policy formulation processes. I mean, this is very clear, precise, and in my own view, coherent. I'm talking about patient data security, confidentiality. For anyone who is in healthcare, we know what it means when it comes to data security. Imagine someone leaking your HIV status to the public. I mean, no one can even maybe employ you. Some people can stigmatize you. So it means that if you are building a health information technology, privacy concerns and confidentiality in healthcare practice is crucial. User experience. Those of you who have a computer background, you know what it means when it comes to designing systems that emphasize user experience and of course knowledge. You want to make sure that even the someone with most basic literacy skills or IT proficiency is able to use the system you're designing for them. Now, after giving a background context, fueled by these challenges and many more, it means that there are challenges that I've not been able to highlight based on how brief I want my data to be. My resolve to pursue advanced studies in health informatics has grown stronger. I'm determined to enhance my expertise to ensure that other patients do not face the same fate as my mother, connecting the dots from where I started. I aim to do so by pioneering innovative electronic health records management systems, EHR, that are user-friendly, cost-effective, scalable, and most importantly, capable of averting patient harm due to erroneous clinical decisions. All right. Now this is the last part of the SOP. Yeah. As part of my long-term commitment to improving, as part of my long-term commitment to improving electronic health records, this year I co-founded an EHR startup called MediConnect Records. Our unique value proposition is to provide patients with terminal illnesses such as cancer an enhanced records management system that offers universal access to their records via client cards and safeguarding their data using blockchain encryption technology. To date, we have achieved significant milestones such as securing seed funding from Youth for Business Innovation, funded by UNDP program and Fund Big Pack Uganda. This fund has enabled us to partner with Pasera vendor neutral archives as we work towards developing our first minimum viable product. So this is one of my startups that I've been working on for some time. I bring it in here as well. And I now go to say, you see now how I'm bringing everything into context from my undergraduate, startup experience, entrepreneur experience, career experience, trying to tackle the different components that I've talked about. And guys, to be honest, that's why sometimes I feel like work experience sometimes shapes you better to write a very good SOP or activities that you engage in your undergraduate. So I don't think I would be able to write this coherent SOP if I've not really worked on these things. So if you're watching this as an undergraduate student, you may really want to choose things that excite you and start making effort into building your career, into trying to contextualize problems that you're so passionate about, so that when a time comes to write your SOP, you are not gambling around, like you have clarity on things you want to do and problems you want to solve. Anyway, so I clearly said I'm interested in EHR systems. The department already knows what EHR is because they are the technical people, because storing data electronically makes it more accessible and facilitates seamless health information exchange. This improves systems efficiency and saves more patient lives and has the potential to spark data-driven innovations. I'm committed to leveraging my expertise and EHR startup, which I talked about, MediConnect, to build capacity and train healthcare workers in low and middle income countries to effectively use EHR systems. My bachelor's degree in medical laboratory technology has enabled me to cultivate a deep foundation understanding of medical and biological sciences. because I'm coming into a field that needs that background. I've also pursued short courses in deep learning, data science, and information management. I had done different short courses on, if you check my LinkedIn profile, you see these short courses in trying to contextualize my problem statement. This academic background and continuous learning have not only expanded my horizons, but also increased my intellectual curiosity and thirst for more knowledge in health informatics. The Master of Health Informatics program at University of Toronto focusing on advancing health informatics research in digital and AI technologies to drive system change within the healthcare aligns perfectly with my vision and aspirations. So this is something that is on the website, that this program focuses on advancing health informatics research in digital and AI technologies to drive systemic change. So someone who reads this line knows that I've read and got this line from the website, and that's why it aligns with my visions and aspirations. In an era where AI is revolutionizing industries globally, I recognize its transformative impact on healthcare. As an entrepreneur, I'm laser focused on leveraging emerging technologies in my startups and innovations to enable me to stay at the forefront of both industrial revolution and fast-paced technological changes. The program's focus on leveraging AI matches my vision of harnessing cutting-edge technologies to create sustainable change in healthcare. All right. I eagerly anticipate learning from esteemed faculty members such as Professor Karim Keshavi, whose research work in electronic medical records already found relevant for the work I intend to do after completing my studies. So Karim is our program director, one of my favorite professors. I had gone to his research gate. I had read his work on prevent and diabetology and what he has been doing. I was following him on LinkedIn, and to be honest, his work was relevant on the work that I want to do, because he's also good at advocating for policy, innovation, and leadership, and then looking at leverage points in systemic change. And then another professor I really admired was Dr. Abbas Zaval. There is a coach he teaches in quantitative skills in health informatics course. I mean, I want to be able to evaluate my startups. I want to do data analytics and stuff like that. So that was also aligning with my aspirations. So I went to say Dr. Val's quantitative skills in health informatics course also aligns with my aspirations, since it provides a deeper conceptual understanding of data analytics techniques. This course will equip me with skills to analyze and interpret health data, ultimately enhancing my startup's efficacy and impact. With expertise and training from this world-class institution, I'll be in position to advise local and international health organizations, government agencies, and the private sector to implement and integrate EHR systems and other innovative digital health technologies in healthcare. The University of Toronto's stellar academic reputation, engines of innovation, particularly the Health Innovation Hub, H2I, and the impact of its graduate in a real-world setting makes its health informatics master's program a unique and ideal platform to turn my aspirations into reality. I'm excited to bring diversity, rich entrepreneurship experience to the student community as I learn, lead, and pioneer innovations in healthcare. Yours sincerely, Emmanuel Natrinda. Excitement that I talked about in the previous SOP guideline. And I believe this is an exciting way to conclude your SOP. So, to be honest, this is the format I followed while I applied to Cambridge, University of Edinburgh, and other world-class institutions. Introduce yourself, talk about your background, what you have accomplished, and how everything connects to dots to help you to kind of contextualize your research focus and to prepare you for the graduate program that you're applying to. So I hope this video and reading my SOP is going to provide for you a better context to work around with as you write your own SOP. To be honest, everyone has their unique story. My story is different from yours. So tell your story. Tell your story. Do research. Take short courses. Bring all these scattered ideas you have in mind into one place. Form a research, a problem statement, address it, provide context, and things that you believe will work. Otherwise, I want to thank you for watching this video. As I always say, I'm not a content creator. That's why most of my videos may not be as quality as other YouTubers. But I believe that you will find this information helpful and it will guide you as you embark on this journey. If you're new on this channel, feel free to subscribe. And I want to wish you all the best as you embark on this journey. Bye-bye.